I'm Karen. Welcome back to Karen Puzzles. Today I have another jigsaw puzzle review of some really beautiful puzzles, but before I get into it, I just have a quick little name to drop. Okay, so when I was at VidCon last year, and I promise this is relevant, I was talking to John Green and his wife, Sarah Green, who runs the YouTube channel, The Art Assignment. John said that I was extraordinarily good at puzzles, which I was like, yes, I know. Come be on my channel. Who knows if that's ever gonna happen, but anyway, the part of the story that's relevant. Sarah was telling me about how she had just finished doing a jigsaw puzzle of the painting a bar at the Folie Berger. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce French. It is not a skill that I have. I'm so sorry for butchering that. But I'm sure you're familiar with it. It is a very famous painting by Edward Manet. And Sarah was saying that even though she studied art history, she was very, very familiar with this very famous painting. But doing it as a jigsaw puzzle made her see new elements of it and see new shapes and details come out that she had never noticed before. And I 100% found that to be exactly the case when I worked on these art puzzles by the brand Pomegranate. Full disclosure, they did send me these 3 puzzles for free, but they didn't, tell me to say anything specific about them or pay me to say anything specific. They were just like, do you want some puzzles? And I was like, yes, I would love some puzzles, thank you. Actually, what I said was, yes, of course you can send me puzzles, but just so you know, I do have a lot of videos to make, so I can't guarantee when they're gonna show up on my YouTube channel. And then the puzzles arrived, I put one together, and I was like, oh, these are some of the most beautiful puzzles I've ever done. I have to tell you guys about them ASAP. So that's what we're doing today. So I requested 3 puzzles from them, and the one that we're going to be doing on camera is Purple Robe and Anemones by Henry Matisse. Again, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. So the puzzle comes shrink wrapped, which you can easily just cut off. The box is beautifully designed. They have so much information to fit on there, even on the sides and on the back, and they managed to do it without it looking cluttered and with every single element feeling well thought out and designed. I also love how on the back they have a little blurb about the artist and all of the information about the painting that you would usually find in a museum. They even show you the actual piece size, which is a detail that I was very impressed by. And something else that I appreciated is that they make note that you should follow the picture on the front of the box since they added a border to the painting. I'm sure that was just to get their proportions right for the puzzle cut. Okay, so are you guys ready? When we open up the box, they have done something that I have never seen any other puzzle company do. Now, somehow, in all of my years of puzzling, it just never occurred to me to put the pieces in a Ziploc bag when you put them back in the box so that if you spill the box and the top comes off, the pieces don't go everywhere. That is something that a lot of you guys have suggested and is an excellent tip for keeping your puzzles organized. But these puzzles take it a step further. They already come in a resealable bag. My mind is blown. I feel like we have entered a new era of puzzling. It's touches like these that really make the puzzle feel high quality and premium. You do have to cut open the top of the bag to get to the Ziploc part, and I did have a little trouble getting it open the first time, but once it was open, it resealed and opened again with no problem. So there isn't anything else in the box, no poster or catalog or anything, but let's look at the pieces. They're all of the standard piece shapes that you would expect. They're pretty matte. You can see that there is a slight sheen, but but I didn't have a problem with glare like I have had with other puzzles. The cardboard is really thick, very high quality, and there was a tiny amount of puzzle dust, but really not enough to be an issue. So something that I love about doing puzzles of actual artwork is that you really get to know the art in a way that feels so much more intimate and personal than just looking at it in a museum or in a book. When I'm separating the pieces by color, we can literally see a visual breakdown of how much of each color Matisse used. And when it comes time to put it together, you are literally just going over every single inch of the artwork multiple times, really paying attention to the slight color differences and the differences in texture and in brush strokes. I wish I had puzzles like these when I was in art school and taking art history classes. If you know your art history, or you do your research and you learn the context that the piece lived in, and you know the story of the artist, following that up by putting together the artwork as a puzzle is such a great way to get intimately familiar with all of the details of every inch of the painting. And as Sarah Green pointed out, you start to see new shapes and elements to it that you might have missed before. Also, and this might just be me, but sometimes when I'm doing a lot of puzzles, I start to feel a little guilty that I could be doing more productive things with my time, which is its own whole topic that I think I'm gonna get into in a separate video. But what I love about these is that it feels intellectual, and it feels like I'm learning something beyond just the action of putting pieces together. Now, if I ever do go to the Baltimore Museum of Art, where this painting lives, I feel like I'll have a much deeper appreciation for it. And now that I've seen all of the details of the painting, I feel like I want to learn more about Matisse and the context in history that this painting lives. Which, as much as I love my rainbow gradient puzzles, this just feels like a much deeper appreciation for the subject matter than a pretty picture of cats or donuts or whatever it is. Not that there's anything wrong with puzzles like that. It's just a different experience putting together a puzzle of a legit, like, historical piece of art. Back to the actual mechanics of the puzzle, I did have a few times where the piece seemed to go in an incorrect spot, but I was able to correct those pretty quickly, and it wasn't a major issue for me. The pieces fit together really well, and the cardboard is so thick that they just feel really nice to handle and to put together. The pieces also lock together really well, so you can move relatively big sections of the puzzle without having them just crumble apart or needing to slide paper underneath. They lock together in the way that I wish Ravensburger puzzles did, because this feels like similar quality to Ravensburger puzzles, but the pieces are so much easier to move once they're in big sections. So as I said, I loved putting together this puzzle and the other two puzzles that they sent me. Pomegranate isn't a brand that I had heard of before, but I am just so impressed by the quality of this puzzle and I just needed to tell all of you about them. So as I said, they also sent me 2 other puzzles. This one, which is called the Coral Reef, is probably my favorite of the 3 because it is so colorful and I love the geometry of it. And then this one, called Morning, is actually the #1 puzzle if you sort on their site by popularity. And I just have to warn you here, this one was a challenge. A 1,000 piece puzzle usually takes me about 3 or 4 hours, but this one was probably more like 8, because as you can see in these progress photos, there just aren't many big sections of a single color or texture, so it was a lot of just taking it piece by piece and slowly filling it in, which is something that would usually frustrate me and usually isn't my favorite thing in a puzzle. But I just love this artwork. I love the colors. I loved getting to look at it really closely and appreciate every detail, so I actually did really love this puzzle. So another thing, if you watch a lot of my videos, you know that I never glue my puzzles, I never hang them up, but these are some where if I was going to hang up a Jigsaw puzzle, these would be a very strong contender because they are images of actual artwork. And it's kind of a nice twist of hanging up a poster of a famous painting. Instead, you can hang up a puzzle of a famous painting. So if you want to get these, they are available on Pomegranate's website. And are you ready to guess the price? Are you ready? Okay, you've got your guess? $20. These puzzles feel so high quality and so premium that if you told me they were $30, $35, I would not have questioned it. So I feel like $20 is a very fair price for the quality of puzzle that you're getting. A ton of them are also on Amazon Prime for around the $17, $18, $19 mark. They're all a little different. So I'm gonna link those down below. There are a ton of options. These are super convenient to buy. On their site, they currently have 151 different 1,000 piece puzzles, so a huge selection. Not all of them are the most colorful images that I personally would want to put together as a puzzle, but everyone has different tastes and they definitely do have a lot that I would love to do, including these 3, and then there are a few more on the site that I kind of have my eye on. To be honest, their website and their logo, the whole kind of vibe of the company feels a little old-fashioned to me. I was a little wary of it when I first clicked onto their site to check out their products. You know, the site isn't optimized for mobile, it just feels a little old school. But when the puzzles came in the mail, I was very pleasantly surprised. I am so impressed by the quality of these, and it is definitely a brand that I'll be returning to. So I would love to know in a comment, have you ever done a Pomegranate brand puzzle before? Or have you done puzzles of any other famous artwork? I would love to know what your experiences are with these in a comment. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, also, do you agree or disagree with any of my opinions? I would really love to know. As always, I will have links to all of the puzzles right down below for you to check out. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone! Actually though, you know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't given you a code word for the comments. So if you're watching all the way to the end, to this like little bonus part of the video, your code word for the comments is purple. So use the word purple somewhere in your comment, and then I'll know that you watched all the way to the end. Okay, for real now. Bye everyone.